This split screen shows our exact end state for today. On the left, a minimalist code editor stripped of all excess files, and on the right, a local web browser reliably rendering a single line of your custom code. To get here, we are going to build this exact setup twice. First, we will use the classic, standard approach to generating a React app. Then we will build it again using a modern, high-speed alternative to see exactly how they compare. The core objective here is learning what you can safely throw away. We're going to intentionally delete default boilerplate files so you can start your development with a completely blank slate. Step 1 is ensuring you have the right tools. You need 3 things installed before writing any code: a standard web browser, a code editor like VS Code, and finally, the Node.js runtime. To verify your Node installation, open your terminal and type node-v. If it returns a version number, your environment is ready to go. Establishing a clean, minimal environment from the very beginning prevents you from getting bogged down trying to understand hundreds of lines of pre-written code later. We will start with the classic generation method. In your terminal, type npx create React app, followed by your project name. This utility acts as a software installer, automatically assembling your React foundation. The drawback of this classic utility is its size. It downloads a massive amount of dependencies, meaning you will sit and wait for a fairly bulky installation to finish before you can actually start working. Once the installation finishes, you must step inside the new folder. A common mistake is trying to run commands immediately. You have to type cd followed by your project name to actually enter the directory. Now let's try the modern alternative, Vite. Open a new terminal and type npm create Vite at latest. Vite acts as a lightweight bundler. It asks interactive questions about your preferences, and your project is generated almost instantly. Look closely at these 2 file structures. On the left, our classic build is loaded with a massive Node modules folder. On the right, Vite has a glaring gap. Vite skips the heavy downloading phase. To fill that gap, you must manually run npm install. Modern tools like Vite cut down your wait times drastically, but they require you to actively manage your installation steps rather than letting a utility handle everything automatically. Now that we have our projects generated, open your code editor. We need to navigate straight to the src folder, which is where almost all of your active development will happen. This file explorer contains several items we do not need. Right-click and delete the SVG logos, the testing setup files, and the vitals reporting scripts. Deleting code you didn't write might feel risky at first. But stripping a project down to its bare minimum is exactly how you learn to control the architecture. By deleting those files, we've deliberately broken the application. Your main index file is currently trying to import resources that no longer exist on your machine. To fix this, open your main index file. Highlight and delete any lines referencing the logos, CSS files, or testing scripts you just removed. With those dead links gone, your workspace is clean. You've eliminated the visual clutter, leaving only the essential logic required to render a basic component. Next, open your app.js file. Find the main return block and delete the entire block of default HTML sitting inside it. Replace it with a single h1 tag. Type hello followed by your name. This will give us immediate, clear visual confirmation when the application successfully compiles. Now we need to launch the local development server. But between the classic app and the Vite app, the terminal commands required to start them are actually completely different. You don't need to memorize these commands. Every Node-based project contains a file called package.json, which holds the exact instructions for running that specific app. This is what that file looks like. Inside the package.json, locate the section labeled scripts. Here, you will see exactly what words trigger the server. Typically start for a classic React app and dev for a Vite app. Return to your terminal, check your current folder, type npm run start or npm run dev and press enter. Relying on the package.json file means you can open any new project from any developer and immediately know exactly how to execute their code. Watch these digital blocks snap together. Your local server is live, and your browser is now rendering the simple header tag we wrote. By throwing out the default boilerplate, you have isolated the React rendering flow. You can see exactly how a single component feeds directly into the browser. You upgraded a dense, confusing default template into a sharp, professional workspace where you control every single line of code. Stop and take a screenshot of your code editor sitting next to your successful browser output. Post that screenshot on LinkedIn or your preferred professional network. Clearly documenting your work turns a private learning exercise into a public demonstration of your new technical capability.